What's good, family? Smash the like button and subscribe. Wow, it's now the early hours of Saturday morning, just before the YB was about to catch some Z's. One of my sleeper cell encrypted Donnies came through on the two-way and said, YB, I've just come across this leaked information. And obviously, you know what the YB's like. The YB don't sit on hot takes. The YB don't sit on exclusive leaks. You best believe, straight onto the YouTube, no doubt. So, let me give you, man, the background. Obviously, you've seen the title and whatnot. The background is this. Tommy Fury, up until 2 weeks ago, was due to be fighting a Don called Andy Bishop. Andy Bishop is about 50 years old, someone's granddad. Andy Bishop, otherwise known as someone's granddad looking ass, is a 0-14 boxer. Never caught a dub. Yeah, now listen. Andy Bishop has seen many things. He's seen 3 generations of children born below him. One of them ones. Yeah, it's a great granddaddy Don, no doubt. Andy, great granddaddy Don Bishop, has seen many things. What he hasn't seen is a dub. Yeah, of all the things Andy, great granddaddy Don Bishop, has seen, the one thing that's eluded him in all of his hundreds of years of life has been a dub. Yeah, that's what we do know, that's the facts. 0-14 is Andy Bishop. Now, Andy Bishop, someone's granddad, was minding his own business. Yeah? Just trying to get by. Listen, my man's 0-14. He ain't trying to do much, is he? Just trying to get by and survive and whatnot. Minding his own business. Next thing you know, Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury is meant to be the bare-knuckle champion. I was bred to do this. Giving it all that has Tommy Fury been doing. I've been bred to do this. Jake Paul fighting a UFC Hall of Fame GOAT, pound for pound #1. Tyron Woodley. Jake Paul's fighting bums, but yeah, I'm a bare knuckle champion. I've been doing it. I've been bred to do this. And it's a lot again. Tommy Fury's been giving it all of that, all the bare knuckle talk, all the standard Billy Ho Saunders bare knuckle talk is what Tommy Fury's been giving it. 2 weeks ago, Mr. Bare Knuckle, it gets leaked, and that's what we're exposing today. It gets leaked 2 weeks ago that Tommy Fury, the bare-knuckle champion bred to do this warrior, the Love Island reject, is due to fight Andy, someone's granddad, Bishop. Andy, 0-14, aka someone's granddad, Bishop. That's who Tommy Fury was due to fight. Now, you man, more likely than not, you man already knew this. This news got out of it. This isn't the leak. However, what happened shortly after the fact it became apparent, or it became news, is where we're going to go in today's video. So you man know that already. You man know 2 weeks ago, Tommy Fury, Mr. Bare Knuckle champion, Bare Knuckle, yeah, was linked. Not even linked. Tommy Fury was on BoxRec. Tommy Fury was signed up to fight Andy Bishop. Locked in. Andy, someone's granddad Bishop, is what Tommy Fury was fighting. Now, when that got out to the public, guess what happened? The public went mad, and rightly so. The public started tagging Frank Warren, Tommy Fury's promoter, and saying, Frank, what are you doing? You told us Tommy Fury was bare knuckle. You told us Tommy Fury was bred to do this. You told me Tommy Fury is a real bare knuckle warrior champion. Why is he fighting someone's granddad for? Don't you have anyone else better to pick on? Yeah? Now, Fish Eyes, we know you're going through it right now. We know that you can't put on a good show for love and the money, but come on, Frank. Do you really have to do this to someone's granddad? Yeah? Andy Bishop's got, as I've explained at the start of the video, Andy Bishop's got a lot of people depending on him. He's got 4 generations of kids below him. Yeah? He's got great-great-granddaughters who enjoy seeing their great-great-granddad. Yeah, the last thing he needs is some goofy 22-year-old who's been bred to do this, getting in there and kind of bowling him over. What happened to matchmaking? Makes me laugh that Eddie Hearn gets, Eddie Hearn, Come on, there's got to be a balance somewhere. You can't roast Eddie Hearn and then put someone's granddad in there with your hottest prospect, 0-14, never caught a dub. Anyway, you've heard there what the fans were saying, and rightly so. The fans were going off. Tommy Fury at which point was laying low. In fact, Tommy Fury was saying, "Oh hell, I don't know anything. Oh, it wasn't me. Oh, my dad does it all. Oh, Frank does it all. I leave it all to them." That's what he was saying. Tommy Fury was saying, "I don't know about my opponent. I don't do it. I don't care. I'll fight anyone. But, I leave it to my dad and I leave it to Frank." That typical answer. That there's what you call el politico. Yeah, el politique. From my Mexican Don el politic. I made that up, but listen, el politique is what that is. Politics. Because, listen, you have no problem. Why is it, Tommy Fury? You've got a big mouth when it comes to Jake Paul. All of a sudden, your own career, you don't know anything about it. All of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? You got so much to say about the JP, but you don't know nothing about your own. It's not my career, Frank Warren, my dad. Alright, so my dad and all Frank Warren, I don't know anything about it. I leave it all to them. It's a shame you don't leave the Jake Paul thing to them as well, because we're all tired of that. Yeah? So stop fighting people's granddad. Stop fighting someone's dependent. People are depending on Andy Bishop. Andy 0-14 Bishop. What business have you, bare knuckle champion, bare knuckle bred to do this? What of business have you got to be fighting him? Is what we all want to know. You ain't got no business to do that. Anyway, like I said, 2 weeks ago it became public. About a week later, after all this barrage from the public, slyly now, they changed the opponent out. Because at the time, 2 weeks ago, when this news came out that Tommy Fury was fighting at 0-14, guess what happened next? At that point, 2 weeks ago, people also worked out Tommy Fury's opponent's win-and-loss record. It was something like 8-196, meaning that out of Tommy Fury's, how many fights has he had? Well, however many fights Tommy Fury has had, his opponent's combined record was 8-196. So all of his opponents have won 8 fights in total and lost 196 opponents in total. Now, I think from what I'm hearing, Tommy Fury may be dyslexic, which means that he got the numbers in the wrong way, kind of thing. They thought that, you know what I'm saying? They thought that was in the win column. They thought they got the columns mixed up. So I can't even really blame Tommy Fury. But either way, the facts are the facts. Whether you've mixed up the numbers or not, end of the day, it's not like it's not like Tommy's been running through them. Tommy's been having hard work here. Tommy's been slapping away with his blunt having hard shots. He ain't been smoking no one. When you look at what Jake Paul's doing, Jake Paul smokes people. Tommy Fury slaps away and barely gets a finish against a random bum no one's ever heard of. Jake Paul's going in there with UFC, MMA, Hall of Fame GOATs and smoking them. That's what we do know. So anyway, let's get back to the point. The point is, Tommy Fury's combined record opponents was 8-196. So this all came out. Oh, Tommy Fury 8-196, and you're fighting at 0-14, keeping that bum record up you've got. That all came out anyway. 2-2s. All this information is out there. Tommy Fury and his team at which point realised the press is really bad. They could handle the 0-14 thing, but it was when his whole career or his opponent's combined record came out, that's when the penny really dropped, because we can't do both. For example, we can fight an 0-14 if people don't realise all the bums have been fighting before. What we can't do is, we can't have our 8-196 record out there and then add an 0-14 to it. At which point, they exchanged slyly, it wasn't publicly announced, but slyly, they exchanged Andy Bishop, Mr. 0-14, aka Mr. Someone's Grandad. They got him out of there and brought in a replacement. The replacement, by the way, is the guy that Tommy Fury is fighting this weekend. By the way, he's 2-0. Wow, he's 2-0. So it wasn't really much of an improvement, but that in itself proves what they was doing. Yeah? For anyone saying they didn't react to the news, the fact they went for a 2-0 when factually he was fighting people who was, you can look at the record. You can look at their record. Tommy Fury was categorically fighting people who have not won no fights, never, nowhere. Yeah, in fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look at it right now. But either way, listen, I'll give you man the rest of the story. Tommy Fury was fighting Dons with an 8-196 combined record. It's no coincidence. He's conveniently fighting a 2-0 Don now. Yeah, that was done for a reason. Tommy Fury is fighting a 2-0 Don. Oh, look, yeah, no, it's 2-0. Because look, no one ever lie. For example, Tommy Fury's last opponent was 0-9. Yeah? Tommy Fury's opponent before that was 0-11. This is absolutely shocking. I didn't know this. And this is why it's important to give you man the background so you can appreciate how bad this is. But when I tell you that Andy Bishop was 0-14, many people wouldn't believe me that they were going to fight him. But it's only until you see his actual record. Like I said, Tommy Fury's last opponent, 0-19. Tommy Fury's opponent before that, 0-11. Tommy Fury's opponent before that, 2-26. Tommy Fury's opponent before that, 0-26. And by the way, again, for any of you dyslexic dons out there, 0-26, the first number I read is the wins column. So let me say that again from the jump. Tommy Fury's last opponent was 0-9. And you can verify this on BoxRec yourself. Tommy Fury's opponent before that was 0-11. Tommy Fury's opponent before that was 2 wins and 26 losses. Tommy Fury's opponent before that was 0 wins and 26 losses. Tommy Fury's opponent before that was 10 wins and 102 losses. Absolutely pathetic. BT Sports should be ashamed of themselves. Don't you dare ever. I don't care if Jake Paul's a YouTuber. Jake Paul knocking Ben Askren out. He's done more in one punch than you've done in 10 of your careers. This is absolutely pathetic. And the fact here that Tommy Fury went to a points win over a man who is 10-102. Wow. He went to points with him. This is how blunt your main man is. And I've got more videos coming soon exposing the fact that Tommy Fury is completely chinless. By the way, it's no coincidence, no one. I've never seen a resume as bad as this. 0-9, 0-11, 2-26, 0-26. He's absolutely chinless. The first thing that Tommy Fury, and that's why he wants Jake Paul fight, because the first thing that lands, you'll see his moody genetics. You'll see his toes curl, just much like his dad, to be fair. And you'll see him, much like his dad, looking up at his toes and essentially busting all over himself. Yeah, and having to clean it up. Anyway, before we finish, let's get back to the point of the video. So, I've given you man Tommy Fury's career. Now you can appreciate what happened in the last 2 weeks. Tommy Fury is due to fight Andy Bishop, 0-14. Conveniently, Tommy Fury says, "Oh, you know what? I leave it all to my dad. I leave it all to my promoters." Well, you best have been doing that, because you've been fighting people with 0-10 your whole career. Never once did you think to step up. And in all this time, you've had the audacity to talk about Jake Paul. And you're fighting 0-10 people. What planet are you on? You absolute mupp. It really does make sense how Tommy Fury came from Love Island, came from reality TV show Reject. Like, how can you look Molly May in the face? No one ever lie here. I promise you, man. If I had a girlfriend, I couldn't. There's no way I could look her in the eye fighting these cats. I'll tell you now. I'll fight one of them dons right now. I'll roll straight off of YouTube and get in there with one of these bums. No doubt. Give me a camp. I'll jump straight in there. My man's been boxing for 20 years. What's going on here? You've been boxing for 20 years, and the best you can do is 0-9 dons, 0-10 dons. Someone's granddad looking ass don. Anyway, we still haven't got to the point here. So, again, Tommy Fury was due to fight Andy Bishop. Now, Tommy Fury could have said, you know what, yep, we was due to fight Andy Bishop, and we've realised the bad press, so we're going to bring change in a new don. Instead of doing that, Tommy Fury's team came out and denied it. No, he's not fighting Andy Bishop. He wasn't going to fight him. He's fighting a 2-0 guy. We don't know anything about Andy Bishop. And that's where we bring ourselves today. So, Andy Bishop has responded to this whole debacle. And he said the following. Jake Paul is an absolute clown. And I've actually messaged him on Instagram this morning. He is the reason why I am no longer fighting Tommy. That's what I believe. He's not going to reply to me, but I've told him what I thought. Now, what you man need to understand is Jake Paul was obviously the one who exposed all this information about Andy Bishop fighting Tommy Fury. So Andy Bishop is fuming now, as you heard there. Andy Bishop is fuming at Jake Paul for the fact that he lost this fight. He needed this fight. He wanted to fight for the money. Obviously. He needed to turn up to flop on the floor for some money. So that's why Andy Bishop is venting at Jake Paul. He goes on to say, well, you know what he goes on to say is irrelevant. The fact of the matter is, Andy Bishop has now exposed the fact that this is true. Because Andy Bishop could have come out and said, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Well, sorry, he could have come out and said, you know what? Tommy Fury's right. I've never heard of Tommy Fury. What's Jake Paul talking about? Me and Tommy were never fighting. Instead, Andy Bishop comes out and says, yeah, Jake Paul, you've messed this fight up for me. Now they've replaced me with some other bum. And the fact that the other bum's a 2-0 guy, that sums it up. Tommy Fury has never fought a man with a winning record. Now all of a sudden, now he's been exposed for fighting 0-14 cats, for fighting people's granddads. It's absolutely shocking. And now today you see the expose, you see the leaked news. Yeah, this right here is fresh off the press. Tommy Fury thought he got away with it, and then boom, one of my links come through and put the fire on him. Because what are you going to say now, Tommy? Because you said you didn't know anything about... You didn't know anything about him. And he's telling the world he knows all about you. He was due to fight you, signed up to fight you, and then the JP exposed the fact that you was doing this. Exposed your goofy record. And the amount that, Tommy, yeah, the amount you talk about Jake Paul and your fight, look at your record. Your record is pathetic. Like, truly. You are completely chinless. And I swear down, yeah, if I ever get any clout, I'll clip that chin of yours. I'm just dying to find out what happens. Because the way your team's protected your chin, yeah, I'm telling you, you're chinless. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll tuck my elbows in, put my head down, just swing the first thing, and you'll go spark out. I'm sure of it. I'm absolutely sure of it. I'm telling you now, yeah, there's no way that you're kosher. No way. Not with that record. That is shocking. How do you sleep at night? I'm starting to think now. I think you and Molly May, I think that's like a TV thing. I don't think it's real. I think I think you're one of them fruity dons looking at your record anyway. That record is fruity looking. All I know is, yeah, something ain't right here. There ain't no way you're into women, put it that way. Yeah, no way. You got a fruity record, you're a bottom. That there is a bottom record. Yeah, you're a bottom. And it's kind of adding up now, because we know that if you want to build a boxing resume, or if you want to build boxing clout, it's good to have that. Oh yeah, look, he's with the girls. You know what I'm saying? People don't want to. No one wants to. Not being this is the way it is. No one's trying to back no fruity tooty, are they? As such, name me a fruity tooty in boxing. Exactly, you don't. So I think that's what it was. They thought, yeah, it would be good for... We know what the Mtk-Cabal is like. Oh, yeah, it would be good for his brand. Even though he's hella fruity, even though his eyebrows always done, yeah, get him with a woman. Yeah, one of them ones. Yeah, one of them manufactured ones. That's what it is, 100%. Because that there is a fruity tooty record. If you spent less time doing your eyebrows and more time putting work in, you wouldn't need to be fighting people's granddads. Yeah? Because you are chinless. That's what I do know right now. Seeing that record, absolutely chinless. And I've heard as much. The first thing that lands on Tommy Fury, it's no surprise he's begging a YouTuber for a fight. Because the first thing that lands, he's going spark out. I'm talking spark out as well. I'm hearing that he can't even spar with people. And there's a reason, like for example, there's a reason you only see Tommy Fury body sparring. You only see Tommy Fury body sparring. Yeah, I'm not gonna. You man can fill the gaps in for that. Because he legitimately can't do anything else. Because if he does, he's going to spark out. He's got some sort of, I don't know what it is. Some moody genetics. And anything that chips his chin, that's it. It's game over. Game, set, and match. Yeah? He doesn't even hit the nay-nay. He doesn't even hit them new TikTok dances. He just goes sparko. No doubt. So you've been exposed. Andy Bishop exposed you. You was linked to fight him. You was signed up to fight him, and then you thought you was smart, but too late. The YB caught you lacking again. How many L's is this you man have taken? Listen, I'm not sure. You man have taken more L's than your Don's records have, no doubt.